Yo, what's good? I do want to talk about something. It's a bit different, but kind of the same. How I always ramble about certain things, but I think, I think I'm, I think I'm the YouTuber who like rambles about certain things. Do I? Do I? Maybe, but um, okay. I've been playing unranked recently. Well, much often than ranked, but my point is, I've noticed players don't know the idea of like what happens when you make a vault and when you make a crouch rotation. Long story short, I'm gonna get simple and I'll run some clips while I still yap. When you run vault rotations, it gives the enemies a disadvantage and it slows down momentum. What do I mean by that is when they take up sight, when they flood sight, that vault can hold so much weight, like from like barbed wire, from someone laying down under it, and even a frost mat. But the point is, they have to vault over it in order to take momentum into doing anything and just trying to basically really pretty much push forward. There's 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 nothing. I'm distracted and watching Izzy, but there's there's nothing more frustrating when a Ash rushes into sight only because there's a fucking crouch hold, you know. So it goes a long way. Like you only make a crouch when sight is like back to back. You make a vault when sight takes a leap. So let's say when I say leap, I mean like there's like a distance. So you would say there's like A site, there's a hallway, and there's B site. You would make a vault in that gap, not a crouch, because if enemies take up that whole hallway, they can just simply crouch through. Versus a vault, you can there's a higher chance you winning a vault fight versus a crouch fight when it comes to rotations because you can contest the vault. The vault has a sound prompt, so that's the that's the advantage you have as a defender. Uh, a crouch vault sound. So long story short, what I'm trying to get at is be mindful on how you make crouch and vault rotations. I would go into more like what type of I would go into more like what type of maps you would do it on, but I don't feel like. But I just feel like me talking about it would be way better than just me trying to like display it. But yes, take it into consideration, and depending on how you make rotations, it does affect the game. It doesn't matter if you have reinforcements or not. If you have a vault rotation on the wrong side of the wall and on the wrong side of the map setup, you would literally make your team lose. Because again, if they take a certain type of hallway and you have a a rotation, they can simply kill you and just walk right in. Like they don't have to be contested or contest because the vault is literally inside of sight. And that's the only time you should make a crouch is when you're close to sight, back to back. But when it's A site, hallway, then B site, you make a vault because the hallway is something that you shouldn't be playing like sight. You know what I'm saying? So it makes more sense on if you know this hallway is separating A site and B site, do not make a crouch, make a vault. Because now when you die, that vault can be used Mm, it, it can be used for very good usage on like sound cue, people going back and forth, but it's you don't prioritize the rotation itself on saying that hey we're in sight so let's all make crouch. No, because when you all die and it's a 1v5, they're all like it's easier access. Like basically don't fuck yourself. So be mindful on how you make crouch and vaults and I really want to make it make sense because I feel like it's very important. You know, it's like people always ask people like, "How do you get so good? How do you get so good?" It's not even about like how good I am. It's about like my mindset. It's like I could have bad aim, but my mechanics can be so swift. You know, it's like you I don't know how to put that in like a good explanation, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So just try to like normalize doing certain rotations because it does matter. But I finally like thought we happened and it's probably getting to the video. Um, I knew what I was going to talk about, but I think I forgot. Okay, I think I found it. I don't know, but when it's like, oh, like I hate when I have this moment. Like literally the other day, like yesterday, I was trying to like make the vibe. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Not because I didn't feel like it. It was because like I didn't have clips. So I was like, I'm gonna remember it today, and then do it. But I ended up forgetting what I was gonna talk about, which it was a, mm, which it was a lot more than like just like talk about sight and shit. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm still yap. But okay, I think I should do that topic. Anyway, um, it's bro. Okay, when it comes to rotations, like I said, vault and what you call it, crouch. I'm gonna add head holds and feet holds. It does matter where you put them in some scenarios, but sight wise, I wouldn't say it matters for sight, but like certain scenarios, it's like when you have intersections, we all know what intersections are. When you meet an intersection, that is when feet holes are into play. Basically, what all it does is just watches their feet when they walk down certain intersections and even hallways. So if they want to take a certain room or a certain position, they have to walk like literally walk in forward of that feet hole. Like we all see like players do like half rotations and they make feet holes like kind of on that one map villa upstairs, like when people like I think it's B site when they reinforce one side of the wall and they make a straight line right under the floor so they can see when people walk through. So it's like it may look stupid to you, but to an attacker, it's like they know someone's watching that or they're visible even if someone isn't or is watching it. So it's good to make like feet holes. Now when it comes to head holes, it's a bit different. Excuse me. When it comes to head holes, it really relies on like I wouldn't even say trigger finger. I say it would rely on like instinct because you can hold head holes, attack and defense. So as a defender, if you leave your head holes, like if you leave that station head hole and then you just come back like to death, it's because someone's gonna hold that from a distance. Like there's no okay, before I end this sentence, pair head hose with vault. So now with head hose, it's like they don't have to worry enough for them to push in because they know you as an offender is going to recheck that and then line of sight, boom, you die. Something similar to vault rotations. You wouldn't put a vault rotation in an intersection. You can, but most times you wouldn't because in an intersection they can hold that vault. Like they don't necessarily have to hop it. They can just hold it and wait till you cross and then hop it. But now when it comes to crouch, it's easier access. So it's like you're just putting one polarity on their belt, one by one or like less and more. It doesn't make any sense. So it's like if you're trying to stop like if you're trying to stop a shield op from rushing, you make feet hose. If you're trying to stop a push from a distance, you use head hose. But when it comes to head and feet hose, then again too, it goes a long way because it's not only about like watching it and then getting shot from a distance and all that good stuff. It's really about maintaining it. You know, if you have if you have good teammates and you make good rotations, the sight alone is dangerous, even if your teammates die, because you know the layers in and out, like like you know the back doors of your site, you know. So it's like when it comes to playing off site and you see people do the same thing like they do on site, that's like the back door, you know. It's like if someone takes site, if someone takes rotations, even if okay, scratch that. Let's just say one v two, you're playing against a nomad, and let's just say mm, a ying. Nomad air jabs all the rotations, and then it's just you, and then ying is gonna be ying. But now it comes to the point where nomad is nomad is the person who is the backbone, right? Now, mind you, now you have backdoors, so you can honestly avoid the rotations and avoid the air jabs, and then it falls on Ying because Ying is the only person that can really flash out things in a fast period of time, and honestly, she can cook her Ying semi charges. She has hard breach and she has smokes. But the really point is why I bring it up, because it's like now it's a whole different ball game when it comes to separating the enemies. You know, you would always want a shield op to vault over something because it makes their feet vulnerable. You would always want you would never want a shield op to crouch because they're mostly secured while crouched. So I've kind of did a mumbo jumbo, but it's just something that on my mind. I'm just like going off the wall with it. Now similarities when it comes to feet holes and vault holes. It's also important to not discard it. Like, don't look at it as like something useless once you already used it. That can be used against you. Vault hole, crouch, feet hose, head hose, all that, it can be used against you. So don't try to look at it as like you 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 wouldn't really it wouldn't quote unquote matter if you let certain things slide when it comes to vault and head hose, which you shouldn't, because you can get held. That's the like that's the biggest thing when it comes to vault and head hose. You can get held. So you don't want to be held accountable because, well, you should be held accountable for your actions if you're the person making head holes, feet holes, or rotations in general. I'm not trying to say that if you make the side setup, you should be the one watching it. No. My point is, if you're gonna make site setup like as in like rotation wise, you should be the main person using it and watching it, because one, why would you trust your randoms to like use your site because they're randoms? So you should be the main one using it the right way, because when it's used the wrong way, it can be used against you. Like I keep saying, when it comes to intersections, do not make crouch, bro. The moment they hit that intersection, they're already inside sight. And you can say you have Capcan, you have barbed wire, you have BPs, you have proxies. That's cool, but they're basically already in sight. So when it comes to intersections, just keep it crouch. When it comes to sight, hallway, sight, make it vault. But now you have maps like Cafe, you have upstairs, you have top white, you have cocktail, and then you have bar. Normally, cocktail and freezer, people have a run through. A run through is like basically like a stacked up crouch, a stacked up crouch rotation. Basically, it is a bigger hole, because some people they normally put a run through, which is it's it's in an intersection, but it's to be quick as possible because you can get held from that intersection. And I feel like it's a bit different because Map by Cafe, you can get held from intersections. So it's very good to make a crouch because when you do crouch, you can zoom through it in a way that you won't be seen and heard as much because you have crosses you have to watch when it comes to like certain maps. But then again, like Cafe, you would make a crouch going through freezer, cocktail, and then you end up in bar that fast. If it's a vault on that, you would have to take a quick second to honestly vault over it. You have to, come through cocktail and then you're in bar. And then in some scenarios, people use a mirror on that exact wall and they put a vault because if they take freezer, the mirror is facing the opposite way so they can see them coming in from freezer and through I think it's cigar shop or is it lounge? No, it's cigar lounge. When you want to make an execute and then let's say you kill the mirror, now that vault is basically like I won't say that vault that's on freezer is kind of like it kind of sets you as a failure as an attacker once that is given because you really someone can be in freezer. If you vote over, you can get shot from freezer. If you vote over, you can get shot from cocktail lounge. If you vote over, it can happen to you if you vote over the wrong rotation. And then when it comes to head holes, now you wouldn't really want to like contest head holes because then again it'll get held from both sides, enemies and attackers. What same thing. Anyways, yeah. Point is, when I mean contest, meaning you wouldn't want to continuously keep pushing head holes because that's what the defenders want you to do is make a push and then lead that push on what you know, which is info. But not even info can save you when it comes to certain things. And then to bring back offsite, when you make rotations and you set up site halfway off site, it does make you not vulnerable, but your presence is known. Like your presence is known that someone is literally playing this. So when it comes to feet holes and head holes now alone, it shows that if I go through this hallway, I'm gonna be seen. If I go through this hallway, I'm gonna be heard, So it goes a long it goes a long way from trying to look at vaults and thinking it's easy because no one's watching it, but reality someone's under it. Same thing with crouches. It looks easy because it's a crouch. You can just walk into sight. You don't think that because someone's literally not watching that shit. Boom, you get hit with some weird shit. And then with head holes, you peek one time, no one's there. You peek again, you're dead. Same thing with leg holes. Well, feet holes, you think that no one's watching it because it's so low of like a visual. You walk through this feet on the feet holes and you get shot through the wall. So it's like I feel like it's mind games when it comes to Seed. Honestly, it's all mental, but I wish I did have more to say because I know my mind had a lot to say, but I think I don't. I don't know why, but I don't know. Like I was really hoping for me to say a lot more because I really wanted to make this video like good. Like it's very important how you make certain vault. Bro, these ass keep fucking running, bro. It's gonna piss me off, bro. It's very important to make like vault and crouch at the right time, at the right site. Because you don't want to keep getting ass rushed because you keep making vault. I mean, you don't want to get ass rushed every single time because you keep making crouch rotations, bro. Don't do that, Like, make it harder for the enemy draw some momentum away from them, you know, because again, with a vault, they take away momentum. They can't really, you know, run in like that. They have to take 2 seconds to vault, you know. I mean, you can still ADS while vaulting, so that's not nothing crazy. But like, it takes that split second of like with your feet and not on the ground. You know, like you can't do anything else but shoot. You know, with crouch, you can like, you can crouch back and forth. You can swing things, you know, while crouched. You know, you can do so much more with a crouch versus a vault. You know, that vault is literally just going in and out, literally. But with a crouch, you can really play a crouch rotation. You really can't play a vault. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just, and I don't want to get confused when I say vault. When I say vault, I don't mean like site type vault. I just literally just mean like, you know, like vaulting over something, you know, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I honestly do wish I had a lot to say, but I really don't. Yeah, I'm gonna try to honestly. Well, I've always kept in mind to update VODs, but it's not the fact that I don't feel like it. It is the fact that I need my topics. Like, I don't run on ranked and unranked gameplay in a way that, you know, I make good clips and post it. No, that's just trash. It's just boring, you know, in my opinion. But I would like to talk about things. Yeah, my brain is not.
ディフューザーを失った。スティンガー展開完了。敵のオペレーターは残り1人だ。ディフューザーを取り戻せ。
リロード中。
あと15秒。ディフューザー確保。10秒。敵オペレーターはあと1人だ。ディフューザー作動中。何としても守れ。敵部隊。残り1人だ。ディフューザーだ。
ライトをセットした。マガジンを変える。
敵のオペレーターは残り1人だ。
リロードする。
取り戻した。 味方はあと1人。
麦ゴーフラッシュバーを使う。マガジンを交換。ブリーチャー行け。
ディフューザーを取り戻せ。味方は残り1人だ。あと15秒。
麦行け。
10秒。5秒前。敵部隊排除。味方のオペレーターは残り1人だ。15秒。あと10秒。敵部隊がディフューザーを設置。破壊しろ。ディフューザー発見。破壊しろ。見つかった。敵部隊が1人残っている。
心拍センサーの準備ができた。
こちらの勝利だ。
爆発に巻き込まれるな。
敵オペレーターはあと1人だ。味方オペレーターは残り1人。敵部隊排除。